This week's lab will concern the gas laws. The data gathered from manipulating the simulation can help visualize Boyle's law, Charles's law, and Gay-Lussac's law using graphs. The simulation involves a box with a fixed width and height. A change in the box's length affects its volume. Boyle's law tells us that the product of the pressure and the volume is equal to a constant, where the pressure and volume are inversely proportional. As the box gets shorter, and thus the volume decreases, the pressure inside increases and vice versa. Once you have gathered your data, plot pressure on the y-axis and volume, represented by length, on the x-axis. Because Boyle's law is expressed as PV equals a constant, where P is the pressure and V is the volume, this graph may or may not be linear. If it is not linear, then use Boyle's law to solve for pressure by mathematically moving volume to the other side of the equation. This may provide a clue as to how to linearize the data to get a straight line graph. Charles' law states that volume and temperature are directly proportional. As temperature increases, the volume of gas also increases, and vice versa. Create a graph from your gathered data with length representing volume on the vertical axis and temperature on the horizontal. If it is linear, then you are done with the graph. If it isn't, manipulate the relationship so that the variable you have on the vertical axis is isolated and the rest is on the other side of the equation. Based on that result, linearize your data and plot a new data set. Gay-Lussac's law relates pressure and temperature. Plot pressure on the y-axis and temperature on the x-axis. If it is linear, then you're done with the graph. If it isn't, manipulate the relationship so that the variable that you have on your vertical axis is isolated and the rest is on the other side of the equation. Based on that result, linearize your data and plot this new data set. What you will submit in your Word document lab write-up. In addition to answering the questions and providing completed data tables, there will be 4 total graphs. In some cases, this would be the original graph of the data that is to be plotted and a linearized version of that data set as needed. All graphs need to be properly done and appear on their own pages, filling that page. So proper title for the graph, proper axes label, a line fit to the data, a curved line or a straight line as appropriate, and where appropriate, extend the fitted line to the y-intercept. If you use Excel, an equation for that fitted line should appear on each graph.